What if I told you that the world you see, the life you live, and the self you believe yourself to be are all illusions? That everything, your fears, desires, struggles, are merely flickering shadows on the walls of a grand cosmic theater? This is not just a metaphor. The ancient mystics, philosophers, and even modern scientists have all whispered the same forbidden truth. Reality is not what it seems. Across the vast expanse of time, from the sages of the East to the Hermetic adepts of the West, one concept has echoed through the halls of hidden wisdom: the veil of Maya, an invisible force that distorts perception, keeping us ensnared in a world of illusion. A dream so vivid, so immersive, that few ever awaken. But what is this veil? Where does it come from? And more importantly, how can we lift it? In this journey, we will unravel the mysteries of Maya, tracing its origins through ancient texts, uncovering its hidden mechanics, and most importantly, discovering how to pierce through its illusion and reclaim the power of true perception. Because the moment you glimpse beyond the veil, everything changes. Stay with me as we venture into the secrets of the veil of Maya, the illusion of reality, and the path to transcendence. The concept of Maya, or the illusion of reality, has been whispered through the corridors of human thought for millennia. But to truly grasp its significance, we must turn to the wisdom of the ancients, those who saw through the illusion and left behind cryptic keys for those willing to seek the truth. The term Maya originates from the Sanskrit texts of ancient India, appearing in the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. The seers of Vedic tradition declared that the world perceived by the senses is not the ultimate reality, but a shifting mirage, an illusion woven by the mind and the five senses, a cosmic dream designed to captivate, but not to reveal. Buddhism, following in the wake of this realization, took the idea further. The Buddha himself spoke of the fleeting nature of existence, teaching that clinging to this illusory world, believing it to be solid, permanent, or self-existent, is the root of suffering. Enlightenment, he taught, is the moment one awakens from the dream. But the East was not alone in this understanding. In the West, the Greek philosopher Plato shared a strikingly similar vision in his allegory of the cave. He described a group of prisoners, chained since birth, who mistake shadows on a wall for reality. When one escapes and sees the true world beyond the cave, he is blinded at first, but upon adjusting, he realizes how limited his former perception was. His task, then, is to return and awaken the others. The Hermeticists of Egypt, the Gnostic sages, and the Kabbalists of the Jewish mystical traditions all spoke of a world hidden behind a veil, one that only the initiated could see beyond. They knew that what we call reality is but a projection, a grand stage where souls play their parts, unaware of the greater truth behind the curtain. Even in modern times, physics has begun to echo what the ancients proclaimed. Quantum mechanics suggests that matter is not as solid as it appears, that the observer plays a role in shaping reality, and that existence may be nothing more than a field of probabilities, waves collapsing into form only when perceived. For centuries, humanity has struggled with this idea. Why? Because the illusion is convincing. The world of Maya feels real. Its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and defeats, all seem undeniable. But to those who seek truth, the question remains: If this world is an illusion, then what lies beyond it? And more importantly, how do we escape? The illusion of reality is not a simple deception. It is a masterful design, a web so intricate that even those who suspect its existence remain entangled in its threads. But how does Maya actually work? What keeps us bound within its dream? At its core, the illusion is upheld by perception, conditioning, and identification. Three forces that weave the fabric of our reality. Perception, often referred to as the prison of the senses, acts as both a gateway and a barrier. Our five senses provide a filtered experience of existence, translating an infinite field of vibrating energy into tangible forms. Yet, what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell is not the full reality. It is merely a limited interpretation of a much grander existence. Ancient mystics taught that the world we interact with is akin to a mirage, something that appears real but vanishes upon closer inspection. Modern science echoes this truth, revealing that the colors we perceive are not inherent in objects, but are frequencies of light interpreted by the brain, and that sound is simply vibrations in the air. Time itself is not an absolute flow, but a relative experience. What we call reality is, in essence, a neurological projection. And so, if our senses do not show us the full picture, what is it they conceal? The next layer is conditioning, the cage of the mind. From birth, we are taught to accept the illusion without question. Society, culture, and education reinforce a single narrative, that this world is all there is, and to survive, we must conform to its rules. This conditioning creates the boundaries of our perception, shaping what we believe is possible and what is not. Much like a bird born in a cage that never questions the bars around it, we grow up believing that our mental confinement is the totality of life, never realizing that beyond those mental walls lies an infinite sky of potential. Human consciousness is trained to remain within the limits of Maya, programmed to chase wealth, status, and validation, rarely pausing to question whether these pursuits hold any true substance. But what if everything we've been taught about reality is just part of the illusion? Perhaps the most powerful force of Maya is identification, the chains of the ego. We become bound through the belief that we are our thoughts, emotions, and personal history. We define ourselves by our name, our body, our societal roles, and the stories we tell ourselves. This identity becomes the anchor, holding us within the dream. In the Upanishads, the ancient sages compared the ego to a mask, a temporary role assumed by the soul in the grand play of existence. The greatest deception, they taught, is mistaking the mask for the wearer, believing that the fleeting self is the true self. But if the self we cling to is an illusion, then who or what are we beyond it? This is the mystery that sages and mystics have sought for ages. And the answer lies in the next step of our journey, unraveling the illusion and stepping beyond the veil. As we begin to expand consciousness, we start to see the infinite. Each step out of illusion leads us from dreamer to awakened being. The first is the realization known as the observer effect, a truth acknowledged in both ancient mysticism and modern quantum physics. Reality changes when observed. In mystical traditions, it is said that consciousness itself shapes reality, that the act of perception is not passive, but creative. This aligns with the discoveries of quantum mechanics, particularly the double-slit experiment, where particles behave differently when observed. This points to a deeper question. If reality shifts when observed, then who is the observer? Are you your thoughts, your emotions, your body? Or are you the awareness behind them? The seers of the Upanishads and Zen Buddhism taught that awakening begins when one realizes, I am not my thoughts, not my body, not my past. I am the awareness that watches. The moment you begin observing your own mind rather than being lost in it, you take the first step beyond Maya. The next step is dissolving the ego through the art of detachment. Maya's strongest weapon is attachment to identity, desires, fears, and fleeting pleasures. The ego clings to these illusions, mistaking the impermanent for the permanent. Spiritual masters have always emphasized detachment, not as a rejection of life, but as transcendence beyond it. The Buddha taught, the root of suffering is attachment. The Bhagavad Gita states, be in the world, but not of it. This path encourages witnessing life's drama without being consumed by it, seeing emotions, desires, and conflicts as passing clouds rather than ultimate truths. The more you detach, the more the illusion unravels, and the grip of Maya begins to fade. As detachment deepens, a profound shift occurs. Consciousness begins to expand. The illusion thins, and the mind glimpses the infinite. Imagine a dreamer who realizes they are dreaming. The walls of the dream lose their solidity. They awaken to the fact that the dream is their own creation. This is the essence of enlightenment, not an external event, but an internal awakening. Reality is not fixed. The self is not separate. The universe is consciousness unfolding itself. In Advaita Vedanta, this realization is known as Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. You're not apart from the whole. You are the whole, momentarily experiencing separation through a mask. The journey through Maya is a spiral where each peeled layer reveals a deeper truth. But once your mind is opened and the illusion is seen, there is no return. The question becomes, what will you do with this knowledge? Awakening from Maya is not an abstract idea. It is a lived experience. It is not about escaping the world, but about seeing it clearly for what it is, an ever-changing illusion shaped by the mind. To begin piercing the veil and aligning with truth, there are 3 essential practices. The first is the art of witnessing. Cultivate the ability to observe without identifying. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily in silent observation. Watch your thoughts like clouds in the sky. Don't suppress them, just witness. Ask yourself, who is watching these thoughts? As you recognize that you are the observer, not the content of the mind, Maya's hold loosens. This practice is central to Jnana Yoga, the path of wisdom, and over time it reveals the infinite awareness behind the illusion of self. The second practice is breaking the chains of attachment. Identify one strong attachment, be it a fear, a desire, or a belief, and observe how it shapes your choices. Ask yourself, if this attachment vanished, would my true self remain? This simple question reveals that attachments are fleeting. Like waves upon the ocean, they rise and fall. But you are the ocean itself, vast, unchanging, eternal. Finally, to expand awareness beyond the physical, embrace practices that open the subtle senses. Trataka, yogic gazing, trains your inner vision by focusing on a flame or symbol, then watching the afterimage with closed eyes. Lucid dreaming teaches you to recognize illusion while sleeping and, by extension, while awake. Deep meditation, where you rest in the space between thoughts, opens you to the formless essence behind all form. These ancient techniques, rooted in Vedic, Hermetic, and Buddhist lineages, reveal what Maya hides, that you are not merely in the universe, you are the universe becoming aware of itself. This is the path of awakening. To walk it is to remember who you truly are, living in the world but not of it. Once you begin to see beyond Maya, the way you interact with the world changes. You no longer cling to false identities, fleeting desires, or illusions of separation. But this is not a call to retreat from life. It is an invitation to engage with it fully, but from a place of awakened awareness. The awakened being does not reject Maya. They dance with it, knowing it is only a reflection of the mind. Reality, as you know it, is a shifting tapestry woven by the mind, a dream so convincing that you mistake it for truth. But now you stand at the edge of awakening. You have glimpsed the illusion of Maya. You have seen how it binds through attachment, perception, and identification. And you have discovered the ancient keys to piercing the veil, witnessing your thoughts, detaching from illusion, and expanding awareness beyond the physical. But knowledge alone is not enough. Awakening is not something to be understood. It must be experienced. So I ask you, what if everything you have believed about reality is only a reflection, not the source? What if the world around you is a mirror, revealing not truth, but the limitations of your own perception? And what happens when you step beyond the mirror? The sages, mystics, and awakened ones throughout history have all left clues, but the final step must be yours. So I invite you, try the practices, question the illusion, seek the truth not outside, but within. And when the veil begins to dissolve, you will not find emptiness. You will find infinity. Now tell me, are you ready to wake up? If this video opened your mind, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Because the more we explore together, the more light we bring into the world. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep awakening.